Have you here in Tupelo Hardware. A little quick history about what you're seeing here. This company started in 1926. Still owned by the same family, 4 generations now running the business. This is rare nowadays because they normally die after about 2 generations. It takes a 4-generational family to keep a store exactly the way it was when the historical event happened. This is probably the most accurate place you'll be with Elvis because it is still functioning just like it did when he came in here. We're a very viable hardware store. Now, this building, well, let me back up. Johnny Cash once said that for him, before Memphis, there was Arkansas, and for Elvis, before Memphis, there was Tupelo. I'm gonna put a little caveat on that. Before Memphis and Graceland, for Elvis, there was Tupelo and Tupelo Hardware. So they built this building in 1941. And so they moved in here. Everything you see in here is original. The flooring, these counters that you're leaning on, all the shelving, even the paint on the ceiling has never been touched. When you walked in that door, everything you saw over here to the left, to the right-hand side, is exactly what Elvis and Gladys saw when they walked in January 1945. Came in here, he had earned some money, to buy a birthday gift, saw a bicycle, couldn't afford it, came down to this spot where you're standing, that little X right there. And the reason why we know this, the gentleman that waited on them gave the owners a full written and verbal account of what happened that day. So what I'm telling you is not urban legend and rumors that we have all over Tupelo. I mean, I find people that are younger than me say they saw Elvis walking down the street. But he came down here and he looked and he saw a rifle similar to this up here, 22 bolt action. And he said, "Ooh, that's what I want." Mama said, "Woo, you ain't getting that." Yeah, that's not exactly what you said, but you get the gist. Yeah. So the gentleman, this is his photograph right here on the end of this counter, Mr. Forrest Bobo, said, "Come here, Elvis." And they all knew each other. "Come back here." And reached over and grabbed an old shipping box like this and just set it down, said, "Sit there." And he goes over and grabs a guitar and hands it to him. And he couldn't play, he just kind of strummed it. And Gladys watched him and said, "Hey, you like that, don't you?" And he goes, "Yeah, I do." And she said, "Well," he said, "but I can't afford it." She said, "Well, I'll tell you what, if you let Brother Smith, our pastor, and if you've been out to the birthplace yet and did the chapel, that's the Brother Smith they're talking about, he knows how to play, and if you let him teach you some chords, I'll help you buy that." And he said, "I promise I'll do that." $7.90, she changed the world in music. And who knew? For 50 years, he'd be the only artist known throughout the world by his first name. Yeah. Who knew that he would be an artist that would have 114 gold and platinum records? Who knew he'd be the only artist that was featured on 2 U.S. postal stamps? Who knew he would still be one of the #1 producing artists in the world, even though he's been dead for now, what, 44 years? Yep. RCA has sold 1.6 billion albums of his worldwide. Their Christmas album, I think he recorded in 1959, is still their #1 Christmas album. And I say all that because, people, this is where it happened. And that counter that you're leaning on, he leaned on that same counter and made the decision. So we're still a very viable hardware store, and once again, it's an honor to have y'all here, but it's an honor for the family that they've been able to maintain this, to make this just like it was when he walked in here. So, are there any questions? Anything I can help you with?
That guitar up there?
All right, this guitar up here above me, this has the signatures of a lot of his band members and entourage. So when they come in, we have them sign it for us. Now, this is the original guitar that they bought here. This is owned by this fella right here in Memphis. This gentleman that's holding the guitar, he's a 4th-generation owner of the business. He is a collector in Memphis, and he owns it. He brought it down here in 2017 for the Elvis Festival that we have every June, which qualifies for the event that's up there now. Well, I think it was last night. And so he brought it down here. It's all held together by masking tape because the wood separating is drying out. But it's more valuable the way it is than restoring it. He sent it, when he bought it, he sent it to Nashville to a company that authenticates historical instruments. And these up here, the photographs that they made of it, And with the records, because we're 4 generation owners here at the business, we have some records, and with that, they said, yeah, 98% sure that is the guitar that we bought. So there's rumors and innuendos that thing's lost forever. No, I'm sorry, that's a lie. There it is. Okay, and it is in Memphis right now. So, any other questions? Well, I want to turn you loose. I'll be here. I'll be glad to answer. Please walk.